We're narrowing the passageway just enough to slow down the inhale. It sounds like a whisper. On your exhalation, maybe like fogging up a mirror with lips closed or making a ha sound with closed lips. Breath that is audible is soothing for the mind, but it's also going to help us to create some warmth and heat in our bodies. Tonight throughout class, we may play our edge a little bit. But I encourage you to find an effortless effort. First, we'll create a steadiness, a stable feeling through the body. After that, we'll breathe and begin to soften and awaken through the inner body. And so return here anytime through class. On the next inhalation, we're going to come up really slowly into a tabletop position. When you arrive in your tabletop, you've got the hands shoulder distance, spread your fingers out nice and wide. Next inhalation, the right arm is going to reach up to the sky, thread the needle is next. Take the right arm underneath, place the right shoulder on the mat. Option to slide your left hand forward in front of you, or if you'd like to, you can take your left arm behind your back, reaching for a double shoulder stretch. Slide the left hand back underneath the shoulder. Right hand reaches up towards the sky. Maybe gaze up, just a little twist, and then release the hand down. Left hand is going to lift up with an inhalation, reach it tall. Slide the left arm underneath. Place your shoulder on the mat. Maybe walk the right hand forward, taking a few moments to breathe into the shoulder. Slide the right hand back under the shoulder. Take left hand, reach it up high. Place your hand down on your mat, and on an inhalation, cow pose. Send your gaze up to the sky, tailbone is going to lift. Exhale as a cat pose, round the back and push the floor away. Pay attention to how this feels to your upper back. Notice how your core engages when you press the floor away. Inhale to a cow pose, spacious across the collarbones. Exhale as a cat pose, rounding through your back. Do that again. Inhale to a cow pose. Exhale to a cat pose. Move through 3 more cycles, and I invite you to get a little funky with it. If you want to move side to side in some circles, maybe swaying the hips one direction then the other. When we are complete, we're finding our way into downward facing dog. Walk the hands forward another 6 inches or so, and then hips reach to the sky and make an upside down V shape. Beginning by bending one knee, then the other knee. Relax the weight of your head and find a focal point at the back of your mat. Plug into your thumb and your pointer finger. Next inhalation, we're coming forward into a high plank pose. When you get into high plank pose, I'd like you to activate your core like you did in cat pose. Begin to draw your low ribs up and in, and then lift through the space between the shoulder blades, rounding through the back, and push the floor away. Good, come back to downward facing dog. Bend your knees, reach your lower abdomen up. Try that again. Come forward into a high plank pose, and when you get there, press the floor away, activating the core, cat-like back. Every time we do plank pose, we'll practice it like this so we can really warm up and work our core. Press back, downward facing dog. Gaze forward to your hands, step or hop feet to the top of your mat. Ragdoll pose is next. Grab opposite biceps. If you want to hold on to the opposite elbow, maybe you just want to relax your arms on the mat. Sway it a little side to side, maybe with the music that you're listening to. Find a point of stillness, recognizing that space between effort and ease, that place that is not too much and it's not too little. Right? The Buddha would call that the middle path. As we practice today, we'll be finding the middle path. Right? So just acknowledging maybe the habit to push really hard. Let's come up to a halfway lift. Or if there's the other habits, the doubt that kind of creeps in sometimes, Instead, we're just going to tune into how we're breathing and feeling, knowing that we're in a completely safe place. On an inhale, come to a half lift again. Exhale, fold. Press down into your feet, and on a long inhalation, rise up to standing mountain pose, reaching up towards the sky. On your exhalation, bring your hands together at your heart center. Samastitihi, standing at attention. Take a moment to close your eyes. Dearly beloved, we have gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Beautiful line from a Prince song, but so true. That is what a yoga practice does. It helps us to get through this thing called life, navigating the ups and downs, trusting how we feel and knowing how to establish and find that middle path, that space between effort and ease. Take a breath in. On the exhale, open your eyes and relax your hands down. Sun salutation, stretch your arms up to the sky in an inhalation, reaching. Exhale, fold forward. Please feel free to bend your knees, but lift through your lower abdomen. Head hangs heavy. On the inhalation, come to a halfway lift, creating a flat back. Plant your hands, step back to a high plank pose. Hold here in high plank. Downward facing dog as you exhale out. Deep breath in. Empty all the air out. Step or hop your feet to the top of your mat. Inhale to a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, mountain pose, reaching up. Maybe you look up. Fold forward, exhale, hands to the heart or swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step back to high plank. Legs are straight or knees down. Push the floor away from you. Downward facing dog, exhale. Take a deep breath in. Empty it all out. Look forward to your hands, step or hop lightly. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose, Siddhasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale's halfway lift. Exhale, high plank pose, press the floor away. Downward facing dog, press back. Next inhalation, the right leg is lifting up to the sky. When you exhale, draw your knee forward towards your breastbone. Push the yoga mat away and cat-like back as you lift your knee higher. Inhale your leg high to the sky. Exhale, draw your knee as high onto your right tricep or shoulder as you can. Inhale, take your leg high to the sky. Exhale, draw it across towards the left elbow or maybe up towards the left armpit. Inhale your leg high to the sky. This time, step your foot forward between your hands. Right hand's reaching up towards the sky. Take a twist. If you'd like to, you can circle your wrists. Maybe you want to make a big circle with your arm a couple of times. Keep pushing the floor away with the sole of your right foot. Try to make it even on the mat. Right hand comes down towards the floor. Step the left foot to the top of your mat. Come back into a ragdoll pose. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Draw your knuckles up towards the ceiling and then over your head. Let your neck be really relaxed. Your head is heavy. Breathe a little deeper across the chest and shoulders. Then relax your hands down towards the floor. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, we'll fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Hands come to your heart, sit back into your chair pose. Begin with airplane arms, torso leans forward, arms reach back, palms face up. Inhale, the arms reach up towards the sky, but stay low through your seat. Exhale, reach your arms back, airplane the arms. Inhale, back to a tall chair pose. Exhale, reach it back. This time, we'll mountain pose with the inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank pose. Hold here for 3. Push your mat away, round through the upper back. 2, cores engaged. Last one, breathe in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg high to the sky, breathe in. Exhale the knee towards the breastbone. Bring the shoulders forward and see if you can lift your knee higher. Inhale, take your leg to the sky. Exhale, knee goes high onto the left arm. Inhale, your leg high. Exhale, draw it across. Maybe try to bring it to your right armpit. Inhale, your leg high to the sky. Exhale, step it forward. Left hand's reaching up as you breathe in. Roll out your wrists, or if you want, big circle with the arm. Releasing the hand down. Step forward with your right foot to the top of your mat. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, we'll fold forward. Rise up to mountain pose. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart, sitting back into your chair pose. Arms are going to reach back like airplane wings again. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Start to draw your low back up towards your wrists, engaging through the lower abdomen. Now, can you gaze down a little bit just to lengthen through your neck? Keep this strong core and start to reach your hands forward towards the front of your mat, reaching beyond the front edge of the mat. Keep stretching. Sit back, lower abdomen lifts. Next exhalation, we'll fold forward. Inhale, halfway lifting. Exhale, step back into high plank pose. Holding here for 3 breaths. Press the mat away. Round through the upper back. 2 breaths. Keep breathing. Take 1 more inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Next inhalation, the right leg is high to the sky. Exhale, step right foot forward between your hands. Heel spins down. Warrior 1, reaching towards the sky when you're ready. In Warrior 1, let's create a little more space through the side body. Interlace your fingers. Press your palms facing up towards the sky. As you reach the palms up, plug into your back foot. Front thigh sinks. Maybe left shoulder comes forward just a little. Deeper inhale. On the exhalation, airplane the arms, reach your arms back. Torso leaning forward. Hug shoulder blades together. Gaze down, neck is very long. Create a big circle. We'll open up to a Warrior 2. In Warrior 2, you may want to move a little side, forward and back, finding your center. And establishing that middle path. We know we're not working hard enough if the mind is wandering. Maybe you sink a little deeper, you breathe a little bigger, set your drishti more focused. If it's too intense, we're holding the breath or gritting the teeth. So just listen and tune into your body's cues. 1 more inhale. On the exhalation, extend your side angle. Right elbow can be on thigh, left arm is stretching overhead. If you would like to, you can lift the right elbow off the thigh, send the right hand towards the back of the room, reaching, shoulders are balanced. Next inhalation is a reverse warrior. In reverse warrior, left hand can be on the back leg. If you'd like, we can warm up the core a little more by taking the left hand towards the front of your mat. The right arm is going to reach back. For some reason, this really, I feel like I'm doing, I'm not sure, like some kind of ballroom dance move or something, like the tango. Yeah, and sort of sink down a little bit. 1 more inhale. On the exhalation, release the hands down to your mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Bend your knees a little bit. Round up through your spine and come into a high plank pose, reaching the upper back. That space between your shoulder blades to the sky. Press the floor away from you. Good, then downward facing dog on the exhalation. Left leg high in the inhale. Exhale, step left foot forward. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana. Heels are in a straight line with one another. It's okay to feel a little bit tippy. We can always adjust to make the stance a bit wider. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms to the sky. Float your ribcage up away from the pelvis. And take this opportunity to plug into your back foot. Feel engaged through your back leg. When both feet are planted, we feel less effort, right? Having an opportunity to breathe and find some ease. Next exhalation, take the arms back. Hug shoulder blades together. Flipping the palms up just helps us to activate a little bit more through the triceps. Neck is long, chin slightly tucked. Next inhalation, warrior two. And reaching out across the arms. Gaze softly beyond the fingertips. Toes soft. And then as you breathe and sink down a little bit deeper, just noticing where you are. Too much, too little, just right. Exhale, extend your side angle. Elbow can rest on thigh, right arm stretching. If you'd like, elbow floats up. Left hand is stretching towards the back wall. Shoulders are stacked. Gazing up is optional, but if it feels like it's too hard to breathe, do not hesitate to gaze down. This will relax the throat muscles and make the breath a little bit more free. Reverse your warrior with an inhale. Right hand can slide down the back leg. You can also bring it in front of the navel. Then reach the arms away from each other, stretching, opening through the sides. Release your hands down towards your mat. Step it back towards your downward facing dog. Bend your knees, round your back like a cat as you come forward into high plank pose. Really press the mat away from you. Downward facing dog, exhale it out. Take a deep breath in. Empty it out. Next inhalation, the right leg's lifting to the sky. Exhale, step it forward. We're gonna flow. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, airplane the arms. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Activate your core, bend the knees, round the back, come forward, high plank. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Left leg high, inhale. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhales, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, activate the core, come forward into high plank. Press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhales, warrior two. Exhale, extended. Reverse it, breathe in. Exhale, step it back, down dog. Inhale, high plank pose. Exhale, back down dog. Left leg high, inhale. Exhale, step forward. Warrior one, breathe in. Airplane arms, exhale. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended. Inhale, reverse it. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward, high plank pose. Press back, down dog, exhale. Right leg high, breathe in. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, warrior one. Airplane arms, exhale. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended. Reverse it, breathe in. Step back, downward facing, plant the palms. Inhale, forward, high plank. Downward facing dog, exhale. Left leg high, breathe in. Step it forward. Inhale, warrior one. Airplane the arms. Inhale, warrior two. Extended side angle. Reverse it, breathe in. Plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward, high plank pose. Press back, downward facing dog. Exhale out. Breathe in deep. Let out a big sigh. Gaze forward to your hands, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale's a half lift. Exhale will fold. Mountain pose, breathing in, reaching tall. Hands come to your heart, sit back into your chair. You draw the low ribs into the body. Feel the spine long, even on your feet. Toes soft. Take your arms out at shoulder height, palms face in. Right arm is going to dial towards the back of the room. Spine stays nice and tall. Inhale, we'll come back to the center. Exhale, dial left arm back, tall twist. Inhale to the center. Twisting on the exhale to the right. Inhale, come to the center. Left side twist. Come back to the center. Hold the right side. Here for 3. Lengthen spine, but sink a little lower. 2. Gazing towards the backhand is optional. Last 3. Inhale to the center. Left side, left arm goes back. Keep breathing. 3 breaths. I know the biscuits are burning here. 2 more breaths. Bring out your stress. And then inhale, center. Fold forward, exhale it out. Woo. Inhale, half lift. Left foot steps back. So the right foot is at the top of the mat and we're coming into a lunge position. Arms reach back like airplane wings. Try to lift your torso off your front thigh, engaging, shoulder blades draw together. Inhale, the arms reach up to the sky. Next exhalation, bring your hands together at your heart center. Lean your torso forward. Take a moment here to lift the low ribs up and in and lengthen your spine. When you exhale, twist to the right, option to place your left elbow on the outside of your thigh. Always an option as well to place the back knee down. Gaze over the right shoulder, deepening the twist so that it feels good in your body. Take one more inhale. And when you exhale, plant your hands down in your mat, stepping it back into a plank position. When you get into plank pose, press the floor away from you. Lifting, lengthen through the neck. Take your right knee and try to bring it towards your right elbow. Staying in your plank pose, right leg goes back. Left knee comes forward. Try to stay in plank, knee goes back. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Exhale out. Take a deeper in breath. Exhale out. Gaze to hands, step or hop, top of your mat. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Mountain pose. Guide your hands to your heart, sit back into your chair pose. Okay, we're leaning the torso forward a little bit. Draw the low ribs up and in. Lengthen your spine. Twist to the right, maybe left elbow touches knee, but it doesn't have to. Okay, we're inhaling back to the center. Really controlled movement. Exhale, twist to the left. Good, inhale back to the center. Twist to the right. Inhale, center. Twisting left. Inhale to the center. This time we hold the right side. Elbow can maybe be placed between the knees. If it's reaching to the outside, we can gaze over the right shoulder. Arms could open up wide. Come back to the center and then twist it to the left side. Engage through the core, draw the low ribs in. Gaze over the shoulder, maybe arms open. One more breath. Then release your hands down. Inhale a half lift. Step the right foot back. Come into a lunge position. Left foot is at the top of the mat. Crescent lunge is next. Let's take the arms back like airplane wings to begin with. Power lunge. Start to lift your rib cage up off your thigh. Now push the floor away, reach up. Hands will come to the heart center. Lean your torso forward, twisting to the left side. Option to rest the elbow on the outside of the thigh. You can also take the right hand and place it down on the mat inside the left foot. Observe what it feels like if you engage your core a little more, lifting. Okay, and then reach the crown of your head away from your tailbone. See if there's some space then to explore more twist. Next exhalation, hands release down towards your mat. Step back into a high plank pose. Same thing on the other side. Left knee comes forward, staying in your plank pose towards your elbow. Step it back. Right knee comes forward to right elbow. Step it back. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Empty it out. Next inhalation, the right leg's high. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, crescent lunge. Airplane pose, shift onto the front leg. Arms reach back like wings. Steady gaze, finding a focal point. Just experiment. Does it feel more steady if you flex your left foot, your back foot? Reach a little more through the arms. Right hand comes down towards the floor. Moving into a half moon pose. Left hand's reaching up towards the sky. If anybody likes like sugar cane pose or dancing moon, you could bend your knee, reach back and capture your foot. Amazing quadricep stretch. Then bend your right knee, step back, warrior two. In warrior two pose, reach forward. Tip it down for side angle pose. Maybe right hand's reaching for the floor, placing elbow on thigh. If you'd like to take a bind, you can do a half bind, winding the top arm behind your back. Full bind is optional too, right arm would go underneath. I personally think there's just almost as much benefit in the half bind and a lot less risk too. Keep breathing. The arms reach up to the sky. Reverse your warrior. Release your hands down towards your mat. Step back, downward facing dog. From our down dog, we're coming down onto our elbows and interlacing the fingers. Dolphin pose. Dolphin is down dog on the forearms. Lower abdomen is lifting. If you'd like to, you can start to bring yourself forward so the shoulders are right above the elbows, and that's when you really start to feel the activation of the shoulders. Keep pressing the floor away. Lower ribs draw up and in. If anybody wants to play a little bit, you're welcome to lift one leg. If it feels like a good idea to lift the other leg, why not? No one's going to see you crashing, right? Just make sure you don't hurt yourself. Let's release the foot down. Climb back up onto your palms. Come back into plank pose. Press the floor away, then downward facing dog. Nice work. Deep breath in. Big exhale out. Left leg is high. Inhale. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, crescent lunge. Airplane pose. Launch onto the left foot. Experiment with what feels better. Flex the right foot or pointing. Half moon pose. Left hand goes down. Stack your shoulders. Reach through your right foot. Step back, warrior two. When you get into your warrior two, let's set up for side angle pose. Reach forward, releasing the hand down. You reach down for the shin. Maybe you want to work your hand on top of a yoga block or a bottle of water. Half bind or full bind is your choice. Even on the feet. Take the arms nice and open. Reversing your warrior, reach it back. And then we're releasing the hands down towards the floor. Good, this time we're coming down onto the forearms, but moving into plank pose on forearms. You can interlace your fingers, walking the feet back or the elbows forward, taking up some space on your mat. You can roll your hips to right and left. You'd like a little more challenge. Some people that really want some core work can do like some bicycles here, bending one knee, bend the other. Nice work, guys. Press back, child's pose. Knees come wide, reach it forward, breathing. Next inhalation, we're going to come up. When you come up, if you'd like to, you can look at your screen if I'm the person that's there, right, the big screen. We're going to work on and play a little bit with our side crow now. So in side crow, what I'd like us to do is just prep our wrist by bringing the back of the hands together. Roll to the pinky side to the palm. Do the circling of the wrist 3 times one way and then the other way. Whatever you're listening to, I hope it's good. You energized. So practice is already perfect, right? It's like practice makes perfect, but I actually think that the practice is already perfect. Whatever your experience is exactly what helps you off the mat. Getting into like the journey to get into the poses where all of the benefit is happening for us, like spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and then physically, of course, once we're starting to learn how to balance on our hands. There's also, so we're gonna come up onto our toes, coming into like a low squatted position. You have your knees close together and your ankle bones fairly close together. Take your hands and walk them over towards the right side of your mat. If you need to adjust yourself because you don't have enough space, you might want to just kind of shift your orientation on your mat. Once you walk your hands to the right, your left elbow is going to rest behind your left knee on your thigh. Right elbow is going to be tucked into your right hip. Now start to lean over and try to get your palms flat onto the floor. Start by spreading your fingers really wide, okay? And then we're going to engage to our core, lifting like a cat through the back. Now start to lean over to the right. I always like to try to touch my ear to the floor. Once that happens, the feet start to lift up. I think it's important to look forward so that you risk less like bonking of the nose. Right? You give it another try on this side. Okay. We're going to stay on this side, but if you guys would like to, you can come here and just pause for a second. We'll keep on the right side, but the next choice here, if you'd like to, if you need a little bit more challenge, try only to have your left elbow behind the knee. The right hand is going to walk much further away, so the elbow is bent, but you're not resting on the elbow. Okay, from there, you can try to lift your feet up off the floor. Mine is not very strong today, but I'm also talking through this video. So play with that for a second. Okay. Now the next layer of us playing around, we're going to stay on the same side. Walk your hands over to the right. Left elbow behind the knee, maybe the right elbow's on the hip. It doesn't have to be, because that felt good to have it off of the hip. We're going to lean over. And then the next thing you're going to try, once your feet get lifted, is you're going to try to bring your feet all the way to the left side of your mat. And as you work and you play, you can work into an extended side crow. Yeah, or Uttita Parsva Bakasana, extending the legs straight forward. It takes time and playfulness. Good, let's come back to the center. Take a hero's pose with your toes. Release the top of the foot kind of on the mat. Sit back onto your heels for a second. Then take your hands, interlace your fingers. Take one hand down, stretching the wrist. And the other comes down. And then you can just kind of move back and forth. Nice, we'll try the other side. Come back up onto the balls of your feet. Knees are bent. Walk your hands over to the left side of the mat or off the mat completely. The right elbow is going to be behind the knee. Left elbow's on the hip. I like to actually place the elbow on the hip and then lean over and plant the palms so they have a really steady connection. From there, you can start to lean over. Maybe left ear comes close to the floor and the feet start to lift. If you're ready to play with extending the legs forward, you can try to keep your feet super glued together. Extend both feet so the legs lengthen completely. Okay. Now, if you're ready to try a one elbowed crow, so right elbow's behind the knee. The left elbow's not going to rest on the hip this time. And you're going to have a much wider space between your hands. For some people, that is magic. It works so well, depending on maybe the length of your arms and your torso. Play a little bit. Great work, you guys. Now let's release out of the pose. Find your way to a Padahastasana or hand under feet pose. Let go of all results. And we can pad our toes, massaging the pad of the hand. You can do a little kind of walking the feet back and forth on the hands lightly. Elbows bend, let the head hang heavy. Now relax all effort and just find effortless. Release the hands from the feet. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, we'll fold. Inhale to mountain pose. Reach arms to the sky. And then sitting back into your chair pose. Flip your palms to face up towards the sky. Eagle pose on the left. So the left arm is going underneath. Option 1, grab your shoulders. Option 2, wind up the wrist palms together. Sink a little lower and take left leg up over the right. Toes could touch ankle, floor, or even the inside of the ankle. Squeezing everything really, really tightly together. Begin to unwind just your leg, and we're making our way back into an eagle-armed warrior 2. Step left foot back nice and slow. Once you get there, humble warrior with eagle arms. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, draw the fingertips down towards the floor. Chin can work towards chest. Head is dropping down. Come up slowly to staying on an inhale. Unwind the arms, warrior two pose. Straighten your front leg, moving into goddess pose. Heels turn in, the toes point out. Face towards the side of your mat. Make sure that your stance is long enough so that the knees bounce right over the heels. If they're pushing past, we want to take it longer. Now, I like to take one hand to the lower abdomen, one to the low back, and see if you can just draw your lower abdomen up a little bit, lengthen through the low back, and then squeeze your knees towards your pinky toes of foot. The arms are going to reach out. You sink down nice and low, then flip just your right palm to the sky. Left palm is down. Now we're switching sides. Left palm flips, right palm is down. Now continue that at your own pace, flipping your palms. If you want a little bit added, you're willing, you can do a little bounce depending on what you're listening to, if it feels kind of funky. What we're doing with the hands, I think probably has some strengthening benefits, but truly all it's doing is distracting our minds from feeling our legs, right? Just like our thoughts, we're always planning out the future or thinking about the past, that distracts us from being present and actually feeling what's going on in the now. Okay? So let's release that down. Straighten your legs, turn your feet towards the left side of your prasarita. With a tall spine, look up, then fold forward a hinge from your hips. We can bend the knees if hamstrings feel a little tight, and then relax the head down. Tipping a little forward towards the balls of the feet can help deepen. I also think in forward folds, if you can really lift up through your lower abdomen, it supports the low back and can help you go a little deeper. Walk your hands out in front of you, come to a flat back. Left hand comes to the center. Right arm is going to reach up to the sky. Release right hand down. Take left hand up to the sky. Release the hand down towards the floor. Turn towards the front of the mat, lifting your heels up, step it forward. When you get forward, inhale to a half lift. Fold forward, exhale. Inhale, mountain pose. Sit back into your chair pose, palms face in, arms are at shoulder height. Now flip the palms face up. Right arm goes underneath. Maybe you're hugging the shoulders or winding at the wrists. Elbows can lift up to shoulder height to stretch upper back. Right leg goes up and over. Higher on the inner thigh makes tucking the toes behind the ankle a little more accessible, but try not to force anything. Our bodies are in a journey. We can't rush the unfolding. Just like we can't rush the unfolding of spring. Hurrying up and opening up the blossoms is just going to ruin everything, right? So we want to be practicing patience with our yoga journey, with our journey off the mat. Unwind and come into warrior two with eagle arms. Step it back. Lift up tall with an inhale, and then humble warrior. Eagle arms, fingertips reach down. Inhale, come back up. Open the arms wide. Straighten your front leg. And then turn your heels and your toes out. We're sinking down. Okay, get a little bit lower. Hands can be your heart center. You can make a lotus shape. Opening the hands up. Pinky side, edge of the hand is touching. Try lifting your heels up off the mat. See if you can sink a little lower. Heels drop down, come up to standing. Turn your feet. Interlace fingers behind the back. Lengthen. And then fold forward, prasarita. Release your hands down towards the floor. Walking the hands out in front of you. Hands are walking to the right side. Side lunging pose is next. Bend your right knee. Then lift your left toes up, flexing the left foot, balance on your heel. You could sit down a little bit lower towards the ground. If it feels okay, you can bring one hand to the heart, maybe hands at prayer position. Release the hands down. Come up to the other side. Bend your left knee. Sink the hips down. Point the right toes up. Sit back. It's totally normal if you're not able to get your left heel to the floor. I think it's really important to note everything is normal on our yoga mats. If something feels painful though, right, we always have permission to come out of a pose, to skip anything that doesn't feel right in your body. Sway the hips side to side, and we're stepping it forward. Once you step forward to the top of your mat, come to a seated position. Now when you get into a seated position, we'll come into a Navasana boat pose. So for boat pose, take your hands behind your shins. I think what's been helpful, one of the teachers at the studio taught the boat pose this way. I think it was Hillary. She had us walk our toes in really, really close. So you're kind of on your tippy toes. And then from there, lift one foot then the other. And that was just like magical feeling. The arms are going to reach out. Take your hands behind your head. Elbows are wide. Left leg extends long. Right knee comes in and left elbow crosses for a bicycle. Then come to the other side. Like those really cute paddling swan boats that they have at Veterans Park, right? We're just paddling. Keep breathing. If you want to go a little faster to match your music. Now release, sit the feet down, lift up. Wrap your hands around your knees and drop your head down. Once you're in this egg position, see if you can lift your feet up off the floor. Our cosmic egg pose. Toes relax down to the mat. Then cross your ankles. Step it back into a downward facing dog. Next inhalation, the right leg's lifting. We're gonna move to half pigeon, but we're gonna do one more core thing before we get there. Draw your knee to your right elbow. Bring your ankle across towards your left elbow. Hover your shin. Keep it hovering. Drop your shin down, lift it up. Drop the shin down to the mat, lift it up. One more time, drop your shin, lift it as high as you can. Then drop the shin down. Hallelujah, half pigeon pose, right? Left toes can tuck under, you can start to lower down. When you're doing half pigeon, we can put like a yoga block, or you can even do some pillows or like a rolled up blanket underneath your right hip. Take a moment to press into your back foot and rise up as high as you can onto your fingertips to stretch the front body. Then on the exhalation, we'll lower down onto elbows. Might feel really sweet to stay right here. If you want to, you could place your forehead down onto the mat. Whenever it's really cold outside and I'm complaining, like I'm walking the dog and there's such a cold breeze that it just like burns my face, which is what happened to me yesterday. I wasn't really expecting it. And I found myself like complaining in my mind. I actually then start to think about Prince, because Prince loved Minnesota, which is actually really cold, I think maybe even colder than Wisconsin. And he could live anywhere, right? He had wealth, he could have lived in California or done something else, but he chose to live there. So I think I chose to live here. There's so many amazing benefits to living in the Midwest. And yes, sometimes it's cold, but this too shall pass, right? And there will be a beautiful spring day, which I'll be so grateful for, summer night, which will feel so sweet. So just in this moment, kind of take into your mind like those experiences that you maybe move from like the effort to a feeling of gratitude or ease, and you can shift out of negativity into experience of gratitude. All of it is a practice. None of us are perfect. All we can do is observe ourselves, become more familiar with our patterns. But once we find tools that work, we become really familiar with those tools, and we can just pull them out of our back pocket when we need them. And breath, staying present, practicing less reactivity, acceptance, sometimes radical acceptance. Rise up onto your hands. Find your way back to downward facing dog and pedal out your feet. So unfortunately, we've got to do that core thing on this side because, yoga's all about balance. I don't want you guys walking around in a circle. for the rest of your week because your core is totally imbalanced. So take your left leg up to the sky, draw your left knee forward, hold here. Bring your ankle across, like you're gonna do half pigeon pose, but you're holding yourself in the air. Okay? And then drop your shin down. Lift the knee and shin back up. Drop it down, lift it up. One more time, lift it as high as you can this time. Push the floor away. Now we'll move into the half pigeon pose. Tuck the back toes under. Yeah, once you find that sweet place, come up tall, take a moment to really stretch out through the front body. And then we come down into elbows. Taking some deep breaths.
How did I get here? When did I fall? I don't recognize anything at all. How could a morning shift of you? How could a morning wake me into? Now I'm waiting for. Still I'm waiting for.
And then you can come up onto your hands. Tuck your back toes under. Pushing the floor away to lift the shin up and press back to down dog. Gaze forward to your hands, step through to seated. When you get to seated pose, take your legs long in front of you, feet are flexed. Sweep up tall with an inhale. Fold forward, hinge from the hip creases. You could reach for the outsides of the calves, ankles, feet. If the feet are accessible, try to draw your hands to the pinky side edge of the foot and draw them back. You may start to feel a sensation of stretch in the lower leg or even soles of feet then. On the inhalation, come up. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. Next inhalation, tall. Begin to fold forward on the exhale. Elbows can press down on the inside of the calf muscles. Might also be nice to walk your hands forward in front of you. I'm going to be here for about 10 breaths. If you have a yoga block you'd like to rest your forehead on, maybe a pillow. With an inhale, we're going to come up slowly. When you rise up, bring the knees together. If you'd like to set your feet a little wider, a slight windshield wiper. Hands come behind your legs and lower yourself down onto your back. Once we're lying on our backs, we'll take the legs up to the sky. If anyone has an inversion practice and they'd really love some time to play with their headstand or shoulder stands, just be really mindful to keep your chin facing up. Any discomfort in the neck is a sign that that pose is not for you. You can keep the hips on the ground. You can put your hands underneath your seat for candlestick pose. Then everybody close your eyes and begin to feel. Just begin to feel the tension that you stepped on your mat with draining away. They say that magic is something that can't be explained, but you just know is true, right? There's so much magic in things like music. Right? They can't scientifically explain why a song can shift your entire day. Right? By hearing a song can evoke tears, emotions, or make you want to dance. There's proof for sure that yoga has so many benefits. But there's so many things that you can feel from the practice that can't be proven. And all we can say is that the practice has a magic. It has an ability to bring us into the moment, to shift us just a little bit, to clear the lens at which we see life and the world through, and to bring us a little bit closer to coming back home to who we truly are. Experience without any stories or judgments, no critiques, There's no right or wrong. This just is an experience. Then one leg at a time, you're going to stretch your legs long in front of you and let the feet drop open. Maybe you want to take a blanket and place it over you. Maybe you want to take a moment to cover your eyes. If you have any adjusting left to do, you can take a second so that you can feel really comfortable sinking down into the floor. There's a quote in the Tao that says, "Only the soft earth absorbs the rain." Just begin to imagine how rain softens hard earth, and then the earth becomes movable and becomes soft. Imagine your mat below you is soft earth, and you're just starting to sink down. Just feel all tension and stress completely draining out of your body. Resting pose, resting in general, is our opportunity to repair. When we sleep at night, it's our body's time to repair and heal. On our mats, we're healing on all levels, body, mind, and soul. Sink a little deeper into the floor. Let gravity press you closer to the earth. Feel your breath easy and restful. And start to reawaken your body. Take your mind mind into your body and just notice, where do you want to move? What feels ready to move, and how does your body want to move? Maybe you're stretching your arms long above your head. And as you stretch your arms above your head, I just invite you to try something. Try just like lifting the corners of your mouth and just taking a big smile. And just notice how it feels to smile in your afterglow of your Shavasana. Bend one knee, then bend the other knee. Roll yourself comfortably to your right side. Once you're lying on your right side, you can just let your head rest across your arms. Eyes can remain closed in a feeling of just fully present. When it feels right to you, come up slowly to your cross-legged seated position. Once you arrive back at cross-legged seat, eyes can remain closed, the hands come to the heart center and a tall spine. Bring into your mind your fellow yoga practitioners that are practicing with you right now. Take a moment of gratitude. Thank you for the supportive energy coming together. We heal and transform together. We're getting through this current situation together. I thank you. I have so much gratitude for you showing up today, and I look forward to these times to come together. And take a deep breath in. And the exhalation, just gently bow forward in gratitude. Namaste. Wonderful.